Keep it going for this month as well. It'd be amazing. I think we're in the top 10. Oh yeah, we're number 8 already, which is great. Cool. So yeah, head on over to the website at mysteriousuniverse.org. There's a link in the sidebar on the right-hand side to vote for us on Podcast Alley. Thanks to everyone who started the threads in the forum to spread the word to vote. It made a huge difference. While you're on the site, check out the premium membership. The best way to support the show is to sign up for a membership. It's $5 a month or $25 for 6 months, or you can even go $50 for a full 12-month subscription if you like. Just click on the premium membership button right at the top of the sidebar and you can pay through PayPal. You get 3 podcasts a week, an extended edition of this show, which is coming up for premium members, and you also get 2 episodes of the podcast Mind Shots, which is about 15 to 20 minutes twice a week to give you another dose of the paranormal. So do check out the premium membership if you want to support the show and keep me in business. And with that thought, that's a wrap for episode 58 of Mysterious Universe. Thanks for listening in. Don't forget to keep an eye on mysteriousuniverse.org for all the latest paranormal news, and to keep an eye out for the Illumination Project too. So until next time, have a great week. Thanks for staying with us for your extended edition, all our premium members. Now let's explore this idea of these psychic children a little bit deeper. There's an excerpt here from Junvalo Melchizedek's book, The Ancient Secret of the Flower of Life, where he talks about some of these alleged super psychic children. Their dramatic abilities distinguish them from others with their sensational demonstrations. These children are able to do things that most people thought could only be done in movies with computer graphics. And he references here the book that we just quickly spoke about at the end of the show by Paul Dong and Thomas Raphael called China's Super Psychics. And he says it reports what has been transpiring in China around these new psychic children who have begun to emerge since 1974 with the young boy who could see with his ears. And he says the government claimed that these children, when blindfolded, weren't just restricted to the ears. They could see with their nose, mouth, tongue, armpits, hands and feet, or whatever. Each child was different, and their vision from these unheard of areas was perfect. These tests were not just a percentage right. Some of the time they were flawless, so no mistakes at all. And he states that he wrote an article about these children in 1985 in Omni magazine, and then the magazine was invited to go to China to observe some of these children and to do a follow-up article. The magazine obviously assumed that there would be some sort of cheating involved. So when they were given some of these children to test, they conducted their examinations in a way that ruled out any possible cheating and left nothing to chance. And he writes about some of the tests they did. He said, with the children present, Omni took a stack of books and at random selected one of them, then opened the book at random and ripped out a page, crumpling it up into a small ball. Omni then placed it in the armpit of one of these children, and this child could read every word on the page perfectly. After many varied tests, Omni became convinced that the phenomenon was real, but they could not explain how these kids were doing it, and their report was released in their January 1985 issue. Then he continues to say that in Mexico City, we found exactly the same new human traits emerging in the children there. There may be more, but we found over 1,000 children able to see with various parts of their bodies. What is noticeable is that these Mexican children can see with the very same parts of the body as the Chinese children do. According to Paul Dong in China's Super Psychics, seeing with various parts of the body was the psychic ability that caught the attention of the Chinese government. But this ability was quickly understood to be only the tip of the iceberg. These children began to demonstrate other psychic abilities that are truly difficult to accept inside this normal reality. And he gives a couple of examples of some of the alleged abilities they had. He said one child would take a sealed bottle of pills off a shelf at random, like vitamins, for example, and this bottle would be sealed with the original plastic wrap and have a tightly screwed metal or plastic top. The bottle would then be placed in the center of a large bare table. Then a video camera would observe what happened next. The child would say to the audience that he or she was beginning. Suddenly, the pills inside the sealed bottle would pass right through the glass and appear on the table. In many cases, the child would then take another object, such as a coin, set it on the table, and it would pass into the sealed bottle. Now, all of this stuff really does sound like parlor tricks. Like, this is the kind of thing you see magicians doing, show after show after show. But when you have the case of, over 5,000 kids reportedly having this ability and being able to demonstrate it, it definitely deserves close attention. And he points out here that by the time the book China's Super Psychics was released in 1997, the Chinese regime had identified over 100,000 of these children, and the general Chinese scientific community simply had to admit that it was real. And then later on in that article, he goes on to cover the account of Inga Bardor, whose story I wanted to read for you now. This is